When the transfer of Jadon Sancho from Manchester City to Borussia Dortmund was first announced in August of 2017, there was some skepticism, but ultimately a lot of curiosity as to how this young, English talent would do abroad. Well, it's safe to say that in the black and yellow of Dortmund, he's quickly become one of the most sought-after teenage talents in world football. What's up? My name is Adrian and welcome to another Rabona TV player bio, and in this edition we'll be looking at the still fledgling but very interesting life and career thus far of Jadon Sancho. A bit of an outlier amongst his young English peers, as he's one of the few that has chosen to take his career abroad and, as of now, has shown extremely promising signs of being one of the best English exports in modern football history. By the way, we produce tons of videos on the roots of the rivalry, player bios, explainer videos, etc. So if that sounds cool to you, then consider subscribing. Alright, back to Sancho. Jadon Malik Sancho was born on March 25th, 2000 in Camberwell, England. His parents are both from Trinidad and Tobago and raised their son in Kennington, South London. He could always be found playing football on the streets with the other kids, watching videos of Ronaldinho and trying to emulate the skill of the Brazilian and other iconic players from the mid-2000s. It's here where he likely developed, or at least laid the blueprint for his dribbling style. Quick, precise flicks and movements with the ball, his incredible speed and acceleration, ability to draw 2, 3, sometimes 4 defenders at a time before either escaping with the ball or shifting it to a now open teammate. Kennington has a bit of a reputation for violence and crime, and according to Sancho, he had to cut some people out of his life in order to ensure he was never distracted from his footballing goals. As he told German newspaper Bild, quote, "After school, I always just wanted to play football. Around me, a lot of people were doing some bad things, but I didn't want anything to do with that." End quote. All that he wanted was to be a footballer, and his dad told him from a young age that if he wanted it, it was going to take a lot of sacrifices, such as what we just spoke about, cutting out friends and negative influences in his life. Well, he was handed his first opportunity to prove his worth at just 7 years old, when he was signed to the Watford Youth Academy in 2007. After almost 8 years with the Hertfordshire club, his talents were recognized by the burgeoning Manchester City Academy. In March of 2015, when Sancho was just about to turn 15, he was sold to Manchester City for £66,000, with the potential sum reaching as high as £500,000. Well, Sancho didn't waste any time in trying to prove his worth to the coaching staff in City's youth setup. He began impressing in almost every tournament and match he played in. Sancho won the Player of the Tournament award in the Me Cup, an under-15s tournament, as well as winning Player of the Tournament in the Red Bull Salzburg Next Generation competition. Then, as an under-16 player, he was promoted to the under-18 squad and scored twice in the first 4 minutes of his debut. At that point in his career, under-18s coach Jason Wilcox noted that Sancho was still eligible to play for the City under-18s for another 3 years. Let's jump ahead to 2017, where Sancho had established himself as one of the brightest stars in the City Youth Academy, as well as in the youth setup for England. At the 2017 UEFA Euro Under-17 Championships, Sancho lit up the tournament, scoring 5 and assisting 5 as he helped England to a second-place finish. Sancho was voted as the player of the tournament, sending a massive message to the Manchester City coaching staff. In total, for the under-17 side of England, Sancho managed to score 13 goals in 16 matches, adding a further 7 assists for a goal involvement of 20 in just 16 appearances. In May of 2017, Manchester City chairman Khaldoon El-Mubarak spoke of Sancho, Phil Foden, and Brahim Diaz, saying, quote, "These are players that are extremely talented, and these are players who have a very good chance of making it to the first team. These are players that if you ask Pep today, he will tell you that they can and will be first team players at Manchester City." End quote. And so, at the end of May of 2017, while Pep Guardiola was speaking about some of City's more elite youngsters, such as the aforementioned Sancho, Diaz, and Foden, he said that they would be part of the squad, but not much more. Quote, "They will come to the United States on our preseason tour. They are 16, 17, or 18. The quality is there, but maybe not in the next year. Next season, most of them will be training with us, and we are going to see how they are. Here, they don't compete. They don't play with each other, and they are good guys, but after they have to play in Old Trafford and Stamford Bridge, I don't know if they are able to compete there." which is a completely fair statement from the manager of the first team. But this was likely when Sancho, fresh off of his Euro Under-17s Player of the Tournament performance, began considering a move away from City. Words like this from the first team manager likely didn't instill much hope for him to get the first team football he craved so badly. And when it came time to renegotiate a contract in July of 2017, things reportedly broke down completely. According to reports, Sancho's demands for first-team opportunities is ultimately what caused the breakdown in negotiations. And following these reports, tons of stories about Arsenal and Tottenham and other Premier League clubs swarming around the young English starlet came to light. So, when transfer deadline day, August 31st, 2017, rolled around and it was then announced that Sancho was packing his bags for Dortmund in an £8 million deal, it came as sort of a surprise for most. When asked why he chose to go to Dortmund by DW kickoff, Sancho said, quote, "That's obvious. They play a lot of young players, they have faith in a lot of young players, and I think that is very good to develop as a player. Plus, it's a good league, and obviously Dortmund's a big club, so why not Dortmund?" And for City, it also made sense, in a way, as they wouldn't be selling a player with the potential to be a world beater to one of their rival Premier League clubs. Well, the faith Sancho showed in Dortmund was repaid, and on the 21st of October 2017, he made his debut for the club's first team against Eintracht Frankfurt. However, it's not as if Sancho was the first name on the team sheet from there, as the 17-year-old still needed to exhibit some patience. You gotta remember, he was competing with the likes of Andre Schürrle, Shinji Kagawa, Mario Götze, Christian Pulisic, Marco Reus, etc. for playing time. Mind you, Marco Reus was perennially injured. But thanks to said patience, Sancho was handed his first Bundesliga start for Dortmund on January 14th, 2018 against Wolfsburg, which was the first of 3 starts that month for him, in which he grabbed 1 assist along the way, winning the Rookie of the Month award in the Bundesliga that month. In April of 2018, Sancho really showed the Dortmund faithful what they could look forward to in a 4-0 victory over Bayer Leverkusen. Starting the match, Sancho scored the first goal, then assisted 2 others, in what would be seen as the perfect encapsulation of his form so far in the 2018-19 season. Despite only starting in 6 of his 14 appearances thus far in the 2018-19 season, Sancho has been involved in 12 goals, scoring 5 himself and setting up 7. In fact, he was involved in at least 1 goal for 7 consecutive matches for Dortmund from the end of September to the end of October of 2018. This incredible form earned him his first call-up to the English national team's senior side in October of 2018, where he made his senior debut as a substitute in a UEFA Nations League draw against Croatia. However, if he continues on this trajectory, you get the feeling that Sancho may just be the starter for England by the time the 2020 European Championships roll around. I mean, don't take it from me though, take it from Dortmund, as they gave him an improved contract in October of 2018 that tied him to the club until 2022. But that's about all I've got for you on Jadon Sancho. An abrupt ending, I admit, as there's not much of a career to look back on at this point, but that's sort of the fun of it, no? We get to see if he can deliver on his seemingly massive amount of potential. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did and you learned something new, then be sure to drop a like for me. Once again, thanks for watching. My name's Adrian, and I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Take care.